organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
On this edition of Daily Iowan TV,
Pang Tang's sentenced. The former student who sexually assaulted a woman during an apartment tour is now in prison. We'll tell you for how long.
and Wild Bill's birthday. A look at what this week's 100th birthday celebration for Bill Sachter means to campus.
And in sports, swimming with the dolphin. And yes, we do mean Gary Dolphin. We'll get the Iowa broadcasters' analysis of the just wrapped up Iowa basketball season.
We'll have that and more.
Daily Iowan TV starts now.
I'm Tom Brokaw. For more than 100 years now, the University of Iowa community has been waking up to the Daily Iowan. Today, it's the largest newsroom in eastern Iowa. And now you can see the news every night on Daily Iowan TV and get it anytime worldwide at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for being with us for the Monday edition of Daily Iowan TV. I'm Ian Martin.
And I'm Stephen Duran. The Iowa Senate blocked 2 of Governor Terry Branstad's 3 regent nominees today. Current Regents President Craig Lang, pictured here in the center, was voted out 30-20, while fellow Republican Robert Kramer lost his vote 27-23. Lang, in a statement released Monday afternoon, said, quote, "I respect the Iowa Senate's decision in its vote today on my reconfirmation to the Board of Regents. It is clear that we all share a passion for higher education and doing what is best for Iowa," end quote. UI graduate and first-time nominee Subhash Sahi will be on the Board of Regents, with only 5 of the 50 lawmakers in the Democratic-controlled Senate voting against him. Branstad blamed his opposing party for Lang and Kramer's denial. Branstad said, quote, "I am greatly disappointed that these 2 fine individuals were treated in such a shabby manner," end quote.
Police are still searching for a man suspected of sexually assaulting a female UI student at an off-campus party early Sunday morning. According to an email sent out by UI police on Monday, officials believe the assailant is a 6-foot-tall, skinny, light-skinned black male. If you or anyone you know has a tip on this or any Iowa City crime, you are encouraged to call the Iowa City Police at the number listed below to give them information.
A former UI student will be in prison for up to 17 years following an assault during an apartment showing over a year ago. Pang Tang entered an Alford plea, meaning he accepts punishment while maintaining innocence to avoid a larger sentence. Tang was a third-year business student before he committed forcible acts on a fellow Chinese national. After the crime, he attempted multiple times to get the victim to keep quiet or change her story. Whether Tang will be deported remains unclear.
The second of 3 candidates for the position of head librarian at the University of Iowa made his pitch Monday afternoon. Jay Sturratt, the current dean of libraries at Washington State University in Pullman, Washington, was on campus to make a public case for his qualifications. The current Cougar holds both an undergraduate and graduate degree in library sciences and has Midwestern ties since he used to work at the University of Southern Illinois Edwardsville and Nebraska Omaha. The final of the 3 candidates will be publicly interviewed on Friday afternoon.
One international group says the University of Iowa needs to do more in addressing global health issues. The group examined institutions trying to help undergraduate global diseases through research, transparency, and easy accessibility for those affected. The report by the university's Allied for Essential Medicine ranked Iowa last among 54 U.S. and Canadian universities in working to solve globally neglected diseases. And miserable grades love company. Only 1 school received an A, and more than half, including Yale, MIT, and Columbia, received a C- or below. University of Iowa spokesman Tom Moore said he hadn't heard of the group, but the university's main focus is on treating diseases that directly affect Iowans.
And for those of you who have never been to Wild Bill's coffee shop, it's not your ordinary coffee place.
This isn't a space that's just sit here, do coffee, get your coffee, do your homework. This is a space to make connections amongst people. And so, yeah, it is different in a lot of respects because we encourage conversation and we encourage you just hanging out.
This week, the shop is celebrating Bill Sachter's 100th birthday. Sachter was born on April 13, 1913, and ran the coffee shop when he came to Iowa City. Sachter had developmental disabilities and was institutionalized for more than 40 years of his life. Eventually, he met with Barry Morrow, who became his guardian, and when Morrow took a job at the University of Iowa, Sachter followed him and sold coffee to social work majors. Sachter promoted normalcy for people with mental disabilities, and the coffee shop continues to promote that idea today.
He was a very gentle and a very warm person, and so it really kind of dispelled a lot of myths about people with disabilities. And so it was after his death that it was decided that we would create a coffee house that continues to employ people with disabilities.
The celebration of Sachter's life continues this week and includes an art exhibit as well as readings about abilities awareness. On Thursday, there will be a coffee crawl from Wild Bill's to Uptown Bill's, the shop's off-campus location on Dubuque Street, and the week will culminate on Saturday with Bill's official 100th birthday party. And coming up on Daily Iowan TV, local sport crime is on the rise, and by that we mean that there was a crime this weekend involving the Spoon Fork Hybrid. An odd story coming up.
And in sports, our weekly Whip Around looks at spring sports as well as the conclusion of gymnastics.
But first, our Megan Tickner joins us, and it finally feels like April outside, and that meant a busy day for the Hubbard grass.
Well, as you can see, Hubbard Park became a hot spot today, with students playing sports, studying, and sitting outside in 70-degree weather. And the rest of the week should be relatively warm, but with high chances for some showers. On Tuesday morning, thunderstorms are looking likely with temps in the 60s. A 70% chance of thunderstorms will occur throughout the afternoon and into the evening, with temps dropping back down into the low 60s. Taking a look at your 6-day forecast, temperatures will continue to drop if the storms do show up, back into the 50s basically until next Sunday. Wednesday with the highest chance of rain up to 90%. Friday and Saturday are looking nice with partially cloudy skies before possibly more rain at the end of the week. Well, that'll do it for your extended forecast. Back to you guys.
A North Liberty resident could face jail time for breaking a spork while in custody. Of course, Tara Harris was in jail for another reason after she allegedly shoplifted more than $500 worth of merchandise from Scheels in the Coral Ridge Mall. But added to her charges when, according to police, she broke her spork in half at an evening meal. The action created a potentially sharp object that resulted in a misdemeanor charge of 5th-degree mischief tacked on to her theft and trespassing charges related to the Scheels incident. Harris maintains that she broke the spork to better cut her roast beef.
And now for a look outside of Iowa. The first female Prime Minister of Great Britain has passed away at the age of 87. Margaret Thatcher, often called the Iron Lady, ruled for 11 years and forever changed British politics, both domestically and internationally. Condolences for Thatcher came from world leaders including Barack Obama and Russia's Vladimir Putin. Queen Elizabeth II has ordered an honorary funeral to be held in Thatcher's honor next week.
And many in the U.S. might not be taking North Korea's nuclear threat seriously, but one nearby nation is. Japan is preparing for the unlikely scenario that Kim Jong-un's regime will attempt an attack on their island country. The country's defense minister said they have prepared missile interception systems that are active until the threat is cleared. Well, basketball season is over, and there's spring sports on the way too. Our Annie Costable eases the transition as Daily Iowan TV Sports takes on both hoops and the outdoor athletics on our Monday night edition. Annie?
Thanks, guys, and welcome back to the Daily Iowan TV Sports studio. While many Hawkeyes wandered to New York City just before the weekend, a number of black and gold sports were busy making headlines off the hardwood. Perhaps the most impressive of those weekend performances was turned in by the men's 400-meter relay team, who shattered the previous school record in their event with a blistering time of 39.35 seconds. Tevin Seminci was joined by seniors Justin Austin, Ethan Holmson, and Josh Larney, rewriting the record books in that one. Not to be outdone, senior Majesty Tutson broke the school record in the women's discus. As for the overall team finishes from the Gym Click shootout, the women finished 5th overall while the men put forth an impressive second place showing. That event took place in Tucson, Arizona. The track and field teams were joined by other sports and competition across the country during our programming break. For more on everything else black and gold, we head out to our reporters in the field for our Monday evening whip around. Our own Lauren Moss is standing by and ready to kick things off. Lauren?
Hi guys, welcome to the Monday version of the Whip Around. I'm Lauren Moss and I'm standing here at Duane Banks Field on this beautiful spring day, which means more baseball's coming our way. Speaking of baseball, this weekend the men's baseball team had a nail-biting win over the Nebraska Cornhuskers. It was a ninth-inning rally that produced a 6-5 winning for the guys. And they'll be returning to action this weekend, April 9th, in Kansas. Now I'm going to throw it over to Allie covering softball.
Thanks, Lauren. I'm here at Pearl Field, where Iowa softball hosted number 19 Nebraska in a 3-game series last weekend. The Huskers came out on top, winning 2 out of the 3 games. This weekend, the Hawkeyes go to Evanston to play Northwestern in another 3-game series. Now to whip it over to Chelsea for gymnastics.
Thanks, Allie. And as your Gym Hawks wrap up their season, the number 6 seemed to be lucky for both teams, as the men's team placed 6th in the Big Ten Championships, and the women's team placed 6th in the NCAA Regionals. Also for the men's team, 6 Hawkeyes placed top 10 in individual events, as well as Javier Balboa and Broderick Szymanski were named first team All-Big Ten. And for your women's team, this was their 6th consecutive appearance in the NCAA Regionals, but it was a rocky start for the women on the uneven bars, which has been a solid event for the Hawkeyes all year, but they countered a fall, setting them back in the competition. But for such a young Hawkeye team, we look forward to what they prepare to bring on the floor for next year. That's all for your Monday evening whip around. For Lauren Moss, Allie Raisley, I'm Chelsea Brown, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
The men's college hoops season unfortunately comes to an end tonight as the Louisville Cardinals and Michigan Wolverines take center stage in Atlanta. For a look back on the year that was in college hoops, we bring back a friend of the show and voice of the Hawkeyes, Gary Dolphin. And Gary, an up and down year at times for the Hawks. What did you see from the team over the year that makes you think they can contend in 2014?
The last third of the season, they fought back, and they were a tougher basketball team, both mentally and physically. And when they would get a lead, they didn't cough it up this time. And so it was a work in progress. It'll continue to be a work in progress in the off season. But I don't see any reason why, with what's coming back, this team can't be ranked, or this team can't make a serious run at a top 3 or 4 spot in the Big Ten next year.
Certainly strong in the back half of the year, but the Hawks struggled to open conference play. What turned things around, do you think?
Once Devin Marble got over his foot, toe, ankle injury, he had that bad 6-7 game stretch where he didn't have a whole lot of confidence in his shooting game. Iowa seemed to pick up after he found his stroke. I don't think it's a coincidence that they won, whatever it was, 11 of their last 14, just because they were playing harder.
We'll let you go on this one, Gary. It's easy to blame youth and inexperience to explain some of the team's road woes this season. Having said that, does that carry over to next season, do you think?
Close losses, I think, had more to do with just how good the Big Ten was, top to bottom. You were playing really good teams every night out. I mean, I think of a 2-possession lead at Purdue and that's the other thing. A lot of these close losses occurred on the road. But I think of a 2-possession lead at Purdue with a minute to go, a 2-possession lead at Minnesota with less than a minute to go, a 9-point second-half lead at Wisconsin. It was more a byproduct of just playing good teams in their building than it was anything, a youth deal. Granted, by the end of the year, Iowa was a much more mature basketball team. But no, I just think that the league, it was what it was. It was the number 1 ranked college basketball league in America.
Thank you, as always, Gary. Well, that's going to do it for us here in the sports studio. Be sure to tune back in tomorrow, same time, same place. And Stefan, back to you guys at the desk.
Solid as always, Annie. And Daily Iowan TV is the first place to see some of Tuesday's stories in the pages of the Daily Iowan. Read about Monday's UISG vice presidential debate.
And find out what unique event is helping the Johnson County Crisis Center. Well, that's your latest edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check us out tomorrow or anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for watching and have a great night.